We'll start off with the Big Ten. I'm a little biasy there. Ohio State fan. The Ohio State. Michigan had a good run last year. I don't think that they're going to be able to match it. That offense at Ohio State is looking crazy. So I'm going to take Ohio State out of the Big Ten. We'll go to the ACC.
While you're doing this, let me do this. Let me go to the lines, and I'll give some odds to those. So we'll see. So you got to think they're single digits, right, in Ohio State?
Plus maybe 170, 150.
410.
The odds doesn't get better than that.
Yeah. Now, that's not for the Big Ten. That's for the win it all.
Okay.
These are the win it all. Yeah. But still, that's got to be one of the top favorites.
If we look at the ACC, I think Clemson has done a great job. Dabo Swinney's done a phenomenal job of getting that culture. They've had some mishaps with DJU, highest ranking quarterback out of the state of California. So I have some trust there. I think Clemson's going to come out of the ACC. The Pac-12, Lincoln Riley's out at USC. I still give him one more year before he makes the big run, but I think he's done a phenomenal job recruiting. And this transfer class, this transfer chaos that's been going on in the college world, definitely worked in his favor. So I'm going to say USC out of the Pac-12. Do we have any odds on that? Do they have Pac-12 championship odds?
You know what? Right now, the only odds they have for on the website I'm looking at right now are the national championship odds. They will, of course, have those odds in other places. Well, let's go down and find those Trojans because we normally go up to a game 28-1. So yeah, I agree with you. But wow, talk about a guy that is making a statement early. The kids came with them, even though the other coach, when coach loses a kid, it's tampering, right?
Yeah, I mean, we'll call it whatever you want.
Have you ever been to the Coliseum?
I have not.
It's 100,000 people. It's 72 degrees in October.
Oh,
you don't need much tampering to get a kid to go to USC.
No, it's a South
but
LA.
I feel bad for UCLA because if UCLA can't win in the Pac-12, sure, maybe they're going to beat the Purdue's, right? At the bottom of the Big Ten, which I don't know what they're going to call it. They're probably going to keep calling it the Big Ten. They got that fancy logo where the I is a 1. Once you make that fancy logo, doesn't matter how many teams, you got to keep it. They're the ones I kind of feel bad for. They I think they got all scooped up with the fervor, but USC was the prize there. There's no doubt about it.
Yeah, I mean, Chip Kelly out of UCLA, I think, can work some magic. But I mean, again, it's South LA. NIL is a real thing. So coming out to play there, imagine the endorsements that come with it. Lincoln Riley, man, that's a chess move.
So we got SEC, right?
How do you bet against Bama? And I was reading a quote from Nick Saban. Last year was a rebuild year for him.
Yeah, I remember seeing that. One of the coaches gave him grief about that. I forget it. Or maybe it was an announcer that called him an excuse maker. Whenever he loses, he has an excuse.
So, I mean, if I had to put my money anywhere, I would put Bama to win it all. I don't know what the odds there are. I can't.
180, plus 180. And you know what? Honestly, at a plus 180, this is personal opinion. What is sports betting other than personal opinions? And as we all know, opinions are, everybody's got an opinion, just like they got other parts of their body. But it really is too low. It's too low for me to put money down in August that I won't see until the end of January. Right now, they moved the games. January, there used to be New Year's. Now New Year's is the semis. Yeah. So I just can't do that. I need 15 to 20. 15 to 20 to 1, especially if you're dealing with prop swap, because, what's Alabama going to get to? Minus 120? Yeah, so that's not a big swing. When you get a team plus 1,800 and they get to plus 350, that screams people will buy it. Like you said, people will buy that opportunity because you're still getting it for better than you would at the book. All right, so who else we got?
Big 12.
You're being very decent here. You're being politically correct and giving all the Power 5 conferences an equal shout out. But as we all know, they ain't equal. It's been a while. The ACC will never be equal. They had Clemson. Clemson's great. I'm not telling you Clemson ain't great. But they also were playing in the ACC, gives them that advantage to get there. So, what about that Big 12?
Well, I mean, tell me, what is the Big 12? Here in the next 2 years, Big 12 is, I don't know what is left.
And again, you're going to see if the big conferences, Mo, all get the good teams from these little conferences, and the little conferences are then going to fill in the other conferences. It's not parity. It just makes the stronger and the weaker weaker.